Hi everybody. Today I'm wearing my SA Flyer shirt from way back because I want to talk about general aviation stuff. The big question is which is better, high wing or low wing? Let me nail my colors to the mast here. I'm a low wing guy. I prefer to sit on the wing rather than hang from it, and there are a lot of good reasons. But let's start by looking at why people prefer high wings. Well, obviously one of the reasons is that you can see downwards better. It's said to be more stable because of the pendulum effect. It needs less dihedral. It's got better ground clearance. You can taxi over fence posts, as one has sometimes done. Safer fuel management. There are natural gravity fuel flow, so you're not reliant on a fuel pump to suck it out of the wings. And arguably, there's easier boarding, unboarding, because you don't have to climb on and off the wing. Although perching on a Cessna 210 step ain't that easy either. But what are the drawbacks of a high wing? Well, for me, there's one huge overriding drawback, and that is the fact is that really your head is in the wing and you can't see into the turn. So it's particularly in the circuit when you're turning, you don't know where what you're turning into. It's a huge potential problem. There's also, believe it or not, according to at least ChatGPT, more drag from the overall configuration having the wing on top of the cabin. And I think that we can see that just in terms of the difference in performance with the sling high wing versus the low wing. With identical engines, pretty much identical everything, the high wing turns out to be about 5 knots slower than the low wing. What are the advantages and disadvantages of a low wing? Well, as I've mentioned already, a low wing aircraft has much better upward visibility and visibility into the turn. It's significantly more aerodynamic. I would argue that it's got more responsive handling, and in fact, we see that again in terms of roll rate. It's easier to look at the fuel tanks. You can just stand on the ground and look into them rather than carry a ladder around with you. And they often better crosswind performance, and they don't get blown over as much in winds as much as high wings do. Obviously, there are drawbacks. There's a reduced downward visibility and there's lower ground clearance. But for me, for a general aviation aircraft, I want to see where I'm going into the turn. I like the comfort of sitting on the wing spar rather than having the claustrophobic effect of having my head stuck in the wing. So for me, it's a low wing over a high wing pretty much any day.